Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Our current session focuses on the objectives, syllabus and learning activities in the silent way method. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would not only have some understanding of the objectives of the silent way method, but also you would have some know-how of the nature of the syllabus and the kind of activities that are used in the silent way method. Well, first of all, I'd come to the general objectives of the silent way method. The main objective of the silent way method is to give beginning level students oral and oral facility in basic elements of the target language. Here, what is important is oral and oral. So, the speaking and listening, these are what are focused on. The general goal set for language learning is near native fluency in the target language. So ultimately what the method wants is to prepare the learners to speak with the same kind of fluency as that of the native speakers of the target language and to have correct pronunciation as well. Another objective is the mastery of the prosodic elements of the target language when the learners are learning that language. As far as immediate objectives are concerned, an immediate objective is to provide the learner with a basic practical knowledge of the grammar. So grammar rules are not taught as per se, but the basic grammatical knowledge is to be given through the learning process. Gettegno 1972 points out that students correctly and easily answer questions about themselves, their education, their family, travel and other daily events. This should be the objective of a silent way teaching course. And according to him also, they should speak with a good accent, which means a native-like or near to the native accent. And another objective is to give either a written or an oral description of a picture, including the existing relationships that concern space, time, and numbers, etc. So practically preparing the learners to use language for all the everyday life purposes. They should also be, according to him, able to answer general questions about the culture and the literature of the native speakers of the target language, and they should be able to perform adequately in the following areas, according to him, that is spelling, grammar, reading, comprehension, and writing as well. So the silent way has a set of very comprehensive objectives when it comes to the teaching and learning of a foreign language in a language classroom setting to be dealt with. As far as the syllabus of silent way method is concerned, it is a basically structural syllabus with lessons that are planned around grammatical items and related vocabulary items. Gettegno does not provide details as to the precise selection and arrangement of grammatical and lexical items that are to be covered or that are to be used, but language items are introduced according to their grammatical complexity, so they are to be graded, and their relationship to what has been taught previously is to be kept in mind by the teacher. So there has to be a movement from the easy to the difficult items, and these items can also be presented visually. So my dear students, in the slide that would follow, I would take you to a full slide where I would show you a section of the silent way syllabus from the first 10 hours of instruction in Thai. It was used to teach American Peace Corps volunteers being trained to teach in Thailand, and at least 15 minutes of every hour of instruction would be spent on pronunciation in this lesson. So let us see a full slide and have a glimpse of this particular section of the syllabus. Now, if you look at the slide, you would see wood color red. The lesson starts with wood color red. And the vocabulary items that are to be taught are wood, red, green, yellow, brown, pink, white, orange, black, and the word color itself. And then in the lesson, the instructor would use the numbers 1 to 10 as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Number 3, wood color red, 2 pieces. Now what has happened at this level? The wood the word wood, the word color, and the word red have been taken from the first step, and the word to comes from the second step, where they have learned to use the numbers. Take wood color red 2 pieces. Now, at this step, gradually what is happening? A verb is added, that is to take or to pick up. The rest of the items, wood, color, red, or 2 pieces, these are the items that they have already learned at the previous stages. So what is happening? At every stage, one new item is gradually being added. Then, take wood color red 2 pieces, give him. If you look at this, the structure is of the sentence is not very much accurate. It is made an imperative, but the focus is not on the structure. The focus is on the vocabulary items. And which new vocabulary item is taught? One more verb, give, is added, and an object pronoun is added, him is added here. At the next step, wood red, where. Now what happens? Where is the new item that is added, and in response to that, wood red on table, wood red in the room, wood red under the table, near the table, far or over the table, next to the table, here and there, etc. This is a list of vocabulary items that the teacher can exploit at this stage. If you look at number 7, now gradually what happens? The student is, or the learner is brought to the question forming rules. Wood color red on table, is it? And the student responds with yes or no. Yes, on or on it, no, not on, etc. And finally, if you look at number 8, wood color red long. Now what has happened? Wood color green longer, wood color orange longest. What is happening? Comparatives are given. Adjectives of comparison are taught, long, longer, longest are taught. In the same way, wood color green taller, wood color red, is it taller, etc. So if you look at the whole lesson, what you would basically notice is that through a systematic, sequenced, carefully graded process, one item after the other is introduced, and each new set of items or each new item that is introduced is different in terms of its nature. The designer has started with nouns, has gradually moved to verbs, then pronouns, then question forming structures, and then to adjectives. Well, my dear students, I hope this activity would have given you some insight into how, in a silent way teaching, the teacher can speak as less as possible, and how activity can be designed to introduce new vocabulary items and to give some practice in them. As far as learning tasks and activities are concerned, they have the function of encouraging and shaping student oral response without direct oral instruction from or unnecessary modeling by the teacher. So the role of the teacher is very, very restricted. It is very, very limited. Basic to this method are simple linguistic tasks in which the teacher models a word or a phrase, not complete sentences most of the times, and then elicit learners' responses to that. Learners then go on to create their own utterances by putting together old and new information. Charts, rods, and other aids from real life can be used to facilitate the learning process in these activities that are used in silent way method.